Hello everyone, this is Asra Sultana, Assistant Professor in EEE Department, working in ISL Engineering College. Today I am going to continue with the yesterday's topic, that is today I am going to tell about the swing equation. So previous class we have started with the fourth unit, that is power system stability. So various definitions of steady state stability, transient and dynamic stability we have seen. Okay. So in fourth unit we are going to see about the different types of stability and steady state stability of synchronous machine connected to infinite bus, calculation of steady state stability limit, synchronous machine models with and without saliency, equal area criterion, and application of equal area criterion, swing equation, step-by-step solution of swing equation, factors affecting transient stability, auto reclosures, mathematical formulation of voltage stability problem. So we have started with the introduction part, that is what is the stability and what is the meaning of instability. Stability of an interconnected power system is the ability of a system to return to its normal or stable operation after it is being subjected to some form of disturbance. Okay. So what is the meaning of stability? Stability is the ability of a power system to return to the normal or stable operation after having been subjected to some form of disturbances. Now let us see what is the meaning of instability. Instability means it is a condition denoting loss of synchronism or falling out of step. Okay. So whenever a system is not in a state of stable operation, even it is not operating as a stable operation, then it is called as instable. So introduction to power system stability considerations have been recognized as an essential part of power system planning for a long time. So with interconnected systems continually growing in size and extending over vast geographical regions, it is becoming increasingly more difficult to maintain synchronism between various parts of a power system. Power system engineering forms a vast and major portion of electrical engineering studies. It is concerned with the production of electrical power and its transmission from the sending end to receiving end as per requirements. And losses should be minimum. The power often changes due to variation of load or due to the disturbances. So power system stability is of utmost importance in this field, that is in the power systems. We can say that power system stability is the very most important topic. It is used to define the ability of the system to bring back its operation to steady state condition within a minimum possible time after having undergone any disturbances. Okay, so what is the stability? Power system stability, ability of the power system to bring back the operation to the steady state condition within minimum possible time. Okay, we are mentioning the time also here. So earlier I said that it has to come back to its steady state after undergoing any disturbances, but we have to take into consideration the time also. The time should be minimum. Okay, minimum possible time. So ever since 20th century till the recent times, all major power generating stations over the globe has mainly relied on AC system as the most effective and economical option for generation and transmission of electrical power. In power plants, several synchronous generators are connected to the bus having same frequency and phase sequence as generators. Therefore, for a stable operation, we have to synchronize the bus with the generators over the entire duration of generation and transmission. So, power system stability is also referred as synchronous stability because of this problem. Okay. So, power system stability is the ability of the system to return to synchronism after having undergone some disturbances due to switching on and off of load or due to line transients. So, to understand the stability well, we have another factor needs to be considered, that is the stability limit. Okay, stability limit also we have to consider now to understand the problem of stability. So, stability limit will define the maximum power permissible to flow through a particular part of the system for which it is subjected to line disturbances or faulty flow of power. So, if we understand these terminologies related to power system stability, and we have to see the different types of stabilities now. We have to understand them. So, what are the different types of stability? The power system stability or synchronous stability of a power system can be divided into several types depending upon the nature of disturbance, and they are classified as three types, that is steady state stability, transient stability and dynamic stability. Okay, we have seen this in the previous class. Okay, what is steady state, what is transient, and what is dynamic. Steady state stability is defined as the ability of the system to bring itself back to the stable configuration following a small disturbance in the network. Okay, so steady state stability is nothing but ability of the system to come back to the stable operation whenever the system is subjected to small disturbances. It can only be considered only during a very gradual and infinitely small power change. And the study of steady state stability is concerned with the determination of upper limit of machine loading before losing synchronism. Now let us see what is transient stability. Transient stability of a power system is the ability of the system to reach a stable condition following a large disturbance in the network condition. Okay? In all cases related to large changes in the system like sudden application or removal of load, switching operation, line faults or loss due to excitation, transient stability of the system will come into play. So what is transient stability? Ability of the system to reach the stable condition with whenever there is a large disturbance occurring in the network. Okay? It is in fact dealing with the ability of the system to retain synchronism following a disturbance sustaining for a reasonably long period. Whereas steady state stability was for short period and transient stability for long period. Now let us see the third type of stability of power system, that is dynamic stability. So dynamic stability is the study of power system which are subjected to small continuous disturbances. Okay? So dynamic stability of a system will denote the artificial stability given to an inherently unstable system by automatically controlled means. It is concerned to small disturbances lasting for about 10 to 30 seconds. Dynamic instability is more probable than steady state instability. Okay, how they are related, dynamic and steady state stability. So steady state stability is also the ability of the system to return back to its stable condition after small disturbances. Whereas dynamic stability means what? Small and continuous disturbances. Okay, the system will be subjected to small and continuous disturbances and it has to come back to the stable operation. Then that is dynamic stability. So now I am talking about instability. So dynamic instability will be more probable than steady state instability. Small disturbances are continually occurring in a power system, that is by varying the load or changing turbine speed, etc., which are very small, not to cause the system to lose synchronism, but it will excite the system into the state of natural oscillations. The system is said to be dynamically stable if the oscillations do not acquire more than certain amplitude and they will die out quickly. So in dynamically unstable system, oscillation amplitude is large and this persists for a long time. Then we have seen the dynamics of a synchronous machine. Kinetic energy is given by half j omega sm square into 10 power minus 6. J is nothing but rotor moment of inertia and omega sm is synchronous speed. So omega s is p by 2 omega sm. Substitute the value of omega sm in kinetic energy equation. So we will get the value of kinetic energy as half j 2 by p square omega s into 10 power minus 6 into omega s. And we are taking this entire term, this term as m. Okay, and p is nothing but number of machine poles. M is nothing but what? Moment of inertia, that is given by j into 2 by p whole square omega s into 10 power minus 6. So inertia constant h we are defining such that gh is equal to kinetic energy is equal to half m omega s mg. What is g here? Machine rating in MVA. H is inertia constant in megajoules per MVA. So m is equal to, from this equation, m is equal to 2 gh by omega s or gh by pi f, that is gh by 180 f. If it is radians, it is gh by pi f. If you are converting radians to degrees, then it is gh by 180 f. M is called the inertia constant. Now taking the G as base, inertia constant in per unit, M per unit is equal to h by pi f, or h, that is h by pi f, it is in electrical radians, h by 180 f, then it is in degrees. Inertia constant h as a characteristic value or a range of values for which class of for each class of machines. So typical values we have seen here. So for turbine generator condensing 1800 rpm, inertia constant is 9 to 6. 3000 rpm 7 to 4. For non-condensing it is 3000 rpm speed, and inertia constant will be 4 to 3. Water wheel generator for slow speed and high speed it is between 2.3 and 2.4. Synchronous condenser large and small 1.25 and 1. Synchronous motor it is 2. So value of H is higher for steam turbo generator than for water wheel generator. We can observe it from the table. Okay. So 30 to 60% of the total inertia of a steam turbo generator unit is that of the prime mover, whereas only 4 to 15% of the inertia of a hydroelectric generating unit is that of a water wheel, including water. Now let us start with the today's topic, that is swing equation. So this is a diagram showing generator and motor, flow of mechanical and electrical powers in a synchronous machine. So the figure is showing the torque, speed and flow of mechanical and electrical powers in a synchronous machine. It is assumed that windage, friction and iron loss torque is negligible. Differential equation governing the rotor dynamics of synchronous machine, we can write it as J d square theta m by dt square is equal to Tm minus Te Newton meter. Okay. So this is the differential equation governing the rotor dynamics of a synchronous machine. See students, you have to remember this equation from now onwards. We are going to use this equation frequently. Okay, that is J d square theta m by dt square is equal to Tm minus Te. What is theta m here? Angle in radians, mechanical radians. Tm is nothing but turbine torque in Newton meter. It acquires a negative value for a motoring machine, and T suffix E is the electromagnetic torque which is developed in Newton meter. It acquires negative value for a motoring machine. While the rotor undergoes dynamics of synchronous machine, as per this equation, that is J d square theta m by dt square equal to Tm minus Te, the rotor speed changes by insignificant magnitude for the time period of interest, and this equation is converted into its more convenient power form by assuming the rotor speed to remain constant at the synchronous speed. So we are multiplying both sides of the equation by omega Sm. That is J omega Sm d square theta m by dt square into 10 power minus 6 is equal to Pm minus Pe. Pm is nothing but what? Mechanical power input in megawatts, and P is the electrical power input in megawatts. Stator copper loss is assumed negligible. So we are rewriting this equation now. It will become what? J into 2 by P square omega S into 10 power minus 6. Okay, this equation earlier we got it. Okay. Into d square theta E by dt square is equal to Pm minus Pe. Theta E is nothing but angle in radians, electrical degrees, or m, we can write the equation as m d square theta E by dt square, that is equal to Pm minus Pe. So it is more convenient to measure angular position of rotor with respect to a synchronously rotating frame of reference. Now let us consider that delta is equal to theta E minus omega st. Okay, delta equal to how much? Theta E minus omega st. That is rotor angular displacement from synchronously rotating reference frame, torque angle or power angle. This is called as torque angle or power angle. So this is from this equation, that is delta equal to theta E minus omega st. We can differentiate it and write the equation as d square theta E by dt square equal to d square delta by dt square. So I am differentiating this equation, delta equal to theta E minus omega st. So d square with respect to t I am differentiating. Okay. So d square theta E by dt square is equal to d square delta by dt square is the equation I got. Now equation m d square theta E by dt square equal to Pm minus Pe can be written in terms of delta as m d square delta by dt square, because I am substituting in place of d square theta E, I am substituting the value as d square delta. So m d square delta by dt square is equal to Pm minus Pe. With m as defined, we can write with m is equal to gh by pi f. Okay, so already we have seen this. So I am substituting the value of m as gh by pi f. So gh by pi f into d square delta by dt square is equal to Pm minus Pe. So dividing throughout by g, MVA rating of the machine we will get. That is m per unit d square delta by dt square is equal to Pm minus Pe in per unit of machine rating as base, where m per unit is equal to h by pi f, or h by pi f d square delta by dt square is equal to Pm minus Pe in per unit. So dividing this equation 10 divided by equation 11 is called as swing equation, and it is describe the rotor dynamics for a synchronous machine for both generating and motoring modes. It is a second order differential equation where the damping term proportional to d delta by dt is absent because of the assumption of a lossless machine and the fact that the torque of damper winding has been ignored. So assumption will lead to the pessimistic result in transient stability analysis. Damping helps to stabilize the system. Damping must be considered in a dynamic stability study since the electrical power P depend upon the sign of angle delta. Swing equation is a non-linear second order differential equation. Now let us see for a multi-machine system what will be the value. Okay. So for a multi-machine system, a common system base must be chosen. Let the G MACH is equal to machine rating and G system is equal to system base. So this equation, 11th equation, that is H by pi f d square delta by dt square is equal to Pm minus Pe, can be written as G mac by G system, H mac by f d square delta by dt square is equal to Pm minus Pe, G mac by G system, okay? Or H system by pi f d square delta by dt square is equal to Pm minus Pe per unit in system base, where H system is H mac into G mac by G system, machine inertia constant in system base. Now consider the swing equation for two machines on a common system base. So we are going to get these equations. So just I am writing the suffixes as 1 and 2, okay, for the same equation. So for this equation I am writing the suffixes as 1 and 2 because we are writing the swing equations of two machines. So as these machines are swinging together or they are in unison or they are acting in, coherently, that is why delta 1 is equal to delta 2 is equal to delta. So adding these two equations, that is H1 by pi f and H2 by pi f, these two equations, I am going to get the value as H equivalent by pi f d square delta by dt square is equal to Pm minus Pe. What is Pm here? Pm1 plus Pm2. Pe is Pe1 plus Pe2 and H equivalent is H1 plus H2. So the two machines swinging coherently are thus reduced to a single machine. Equivalent inertia, now we are writing as H equivalent is equal to H1 mac G1 mac by G system plus H2 mac G2 mac by G system. So above results are easily extendable to any number of machines swinging coherently. Now let us see a numerical based on the swing equation. I hope everyone understood the swing equation. Okay, swing equation is clear. It is very important, students. So you may expect a long question on swing equation. Okay, so I will discuss that at the end of this session. Now let us see what numerical based on this topic. A 50 Hz 4-pole turbo generator rated 100 MVA 11 kV has an inertia constant of 8 mJ per MVA. Find, so we have to find three things here. Find the stored energy in the rotor at synchronous speed. Second one, if the mechanical input is suddenly raised to 80 megawatt for an electrical load of 50 megawatt, find rotor acceleration neglecting mechanical and electrical losses. Third one, if the acceleration calculated in part B is maintained for 10 cycles, find the change in torque angle and rotor speed in revolutions per minute at the end of this period. So what is given? 50 Hz 4-pole turbo generator rated at 100 MVA. Okay, we are given the frequency, number of poles and rating of alternator or turbo generator, and 11 kV has an inertia constant, that is H value is given here 8 mJ per MVA. We have to find the stored energy in the rotor at synchronous speed, and second one we have to find the rotor acceleration neglecting mechanical and electrical losses. So what is the condition? We have to see that mechanical input is suddenly raised to 80 megawatt for an electrical load of 50 megawatt. Third one is that if the acceleration calculated in part B is maintained for 10 cycles, find the change in torque angle and rotor speed in revolutions per minute at the end of this period. So first A bit is stored energy, that is equal to GH, that is G is 100 and H is equal to 8. Okay, it is given now. So directly I am substituting the values 100 into 8, that is 800 mJ is the stored energy, kinetic energy. Second one, PA is equal to 80 minus 50, that is 10 megawatt, that is equal to md square delta by dt square. M is equal to GH by 180 F, that is G is equal to GH we have found as 800 So 800 divided by 180 into frequency is 50. That is 4 by 45 mj second per electrical degrees. Now 4 by 45 d square m d square delta by dt square is equal to 30. Pa is equal to m d square by m d square delta by dt square. Pa value is 30. So 30 is equal to m value we got it as 4 by 45. 30 is equal to 4 by 45 d square delta by dt square. So we can get the value of A here, that is d square delta by dt square is equal to 337.5 electrical degree per second square acceleration. Okay, rotor acceleration. Alpha is equal to d square delta by dt square. We got the value as 337.5 electrical degree per second square. Third one is 10 cycles is 0.2 seconds because this is frequency is 1 by time period. Okay. So change in delta is equal to half into 337.5 into 0.2 square, that is 6.75 electrical degrees, and this is equal to 60 into 337.5 by 2 into 360, that is 28.125 rpm per second. So rotor speed at the end of 10 cycles will be equal to 120 into 50 by 4 plus 28.125 into 0.2, 1505.625 rpm is the rotor speed at the end of 10 cycles. Thank you students for watching the video. I hope everyone understood today's class. So we have started the 4th unit in the previous class, and today's class I have said about what is the power system stability, what is instability, what are the various types of stabilities, okay, steady state, transient and dynamic. What is the meaning of stability? The ability of the system to come back to the stable state after being subjected to disturbances. It can be anything, change of load or change in the speed or change in the frequency, okay. So any disturbances it may happen. So steady state stability means what? The ability of the system to return to its normal operation when the system is subjected to slow or small disturbances. Transient is for large disturbances, okay. System getting back to its stable operation after being subjected to large disturbances. What is dynamic? Dynamic means what? Slow and continuous disturbances will be occurring on the system, and the system has to come back to its normal state after being subjected to these disturbances, okay. So in the exam you may get a question, define the term steady state stability limit and transient state stability limit. That also we discussed, okay. Steady state stability limit also we discussed. Then you may get a problem, okay, which we discussed just now. So you may get a problem based on this for short answers, and you may get a question of derive swing equation and write its significance in the operation of a power system network, okay. Previous year's papers it was asked this question. So for 5 marks you can get a swing equation question, okay. Derived swing equation you may get, or step-by-step solution of swing equation also you may get. So that we will discuss in next classes. Step-by-step solution of swing equation. As of today's class, what is swing equation we have seen, okay. So you have to remember students this formula of swing equation, very very important. So J d square theta m by dt square is equal to Tm minus T. This is the equation from where we have started, okay. Then finally we got the equation as H by pi f d square delta by dt square is equal to Pm minus Pe. Then for swing equation for multi-machine system also we have seen, okay. If two systems are connected, then what will be the equation we have seen, and we have seen a numerical also based on this swing equation. Thank you students for watching the video. I hope everyone today's class. Thank you everyone.